guys, welcome back to my channel. So it is 9:08. Oh, I don't know why that flashes. Does anyone know why that does that? Anyway, it's currently 8 minutes past 9. I was meant to start this 8 minutes ago, but I was on TikTok slightly too long this morning, okay? So today we are doing another 24-hour reading challenge. It's not going to be as strict as my last one. It's going to be roughly 12 hours each day. I'm going to try my hardest to do 12 hours each day, but I'm not going to necessarily pause it. Last time I paused it, so I made sure I was reading the full 12 hours. I'm not necessarily going to pause it. It's going to be 12 hours. Excuse me. It's not even slightly focused on anything. That's why I'm confused. There we go. My cheeks look very red here, but that is because they are dry and inflamed. Anyway, we're back. The camera's decided to focus again. Yeah, I have a lot of washing to do over this weekend. So, for example, to sort that out, well, it takes me like 5 minutes or so to do so. I'm probably not going to post a timer for that because it's just going to add up. And I have a lot, I'm also possibly going to use audiobooks as well as reading. And by that, I mean, if the book I'm reading has an audiobook on Spotify, for example, then while I'm doing things to do with my washing, for example, I might listen to that. So I actually don't think I'm going to even put a timer on. I just know I'm going to read until about 10 past 9 tonight. And that is how we're going to do it this time. Okay, maybe when I have less to do around the house, I will do a more strict 24-hour reading challenge. But I have had to wash every item of clothing that I own because I had mold in my wardrobe. So I just have a lot to get through. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, the first book I'm going to read is If We Were Perfect, which is the fourth book in the If Love series by Ana Huang. I've read the last 3 over the last sort of week and a half. So now I want to finish it with this one. This is just over 300 pages, I think, so it should be a nice, quick read. Fingers crossed. I am going to go and get into this. There's nothing more to say. Let's start the challenge. Okay, it's been about 2.5 hours now. And I'm on page 115. I actually forgot to bring a bookmark down with me, so I'm using photo booth pictures from of me and my friend from our last night out, and they're from Rusty's in Newcastle, which is meant to be a gay bar, and back in the day it was, and now it's just full of creepy straight men, which was a shame, I have to say, because I really enjoyed it in that club, but not anymore. I would have read this quicker, but I feel very slow this morning, and also I've sorted out my washing, like my first load of washing. So if you can hear the washing machine, like a weird noise in the background, that's the second load that's currently in. Anyway, I don't know how I feel about this series as a whole. I believe this one came out before the Twisted series, but I mean, this one came out in 2022. I'm pretty sure. Oh, this one, it says copyright 2020, so yeah, but maybe this cover came out in 2022. I read the first one, so you've got If We Ever Meet Again, and then the second one, If the Sun Never Sets, is a duet book. Books is a duet in the series, I guess. They follow the same couple. And then book 3 is a different couple, and then this one's a different couple. But basically, out of the 4 books, the first 2 is about the same couple, and it's a second chance. Book 2, I did really enjoy. I think I've rated it about 4 stars. And then this one, book 4, is also a second chance romance. So, yeah. I don't know how I feel about the first couple, to be completely honest with you. So those books I haven't rated as highly. Yeah, book 3 was a 4-star. This one I'm not sure, but I like Sammy. The problem is I just didn't like Blake, who is the main guy in book 1, for a few reasons. I think I rated the second book 3.5 stars, which isn't bad, because I think I did enjoy the book, and I do kind of enjoy the couple, and I do feel their chemistry. I just thought Blake was an absolute idiot in book 1 and in book 2. Like, book 2, he just didn't learn his lesson till the very end, and it was quite frustrating to read. But I still did enjoy it. But so far, book 2 and 3 are better. But they're just like, they're not quite Twisted series for me. And they're so much shorter as well, which is quite funny. But I just think it's 2 extremes. The first 2 books are not even 300 pages. And then the Twisted series, the shortest book, is 400 odd. But the rest of them just get thicker and thicker. I think like Twisted Love... No, that's the first book. I think Twisted Lies is like 500 or something pages. So maybe more. But anyway, I have yet to find, of the books I had wanted to read, I've yet to find one that has an audiobook. So I might have to change my plans in order to get stuff steamed and put away tomorrow. Because I want to read Things We Left Behind when I finish this, because I think it's like a nice, easy, short book. And then Things We Left Behind is quite a thick boy, you know? But it means I can get like steaming done, more washing done, and I need a vacuum, to be honest with you. I really did not prepare for this in as much as I did my last 24-hour reading challenge. But at least, you know, we live and learn. So I think I saw on Spotify, included in Spotify Premium, which thankfully I do have, A Good Girl's Guide to Murders on there. And it is a book that's more out of my comfort zone, because I'm not really like a thriller or mystery kind of girl. And it is a YA. So I think if I listen to it while I'm doing something else, it might help me get into it. So that'll probably be left for tomorrow though. But then it means I'll go between reading it and listening to it, you know? But yeah, that's my plan so far. But so far I am enjoying this. Okay, I'm going to give you like a quick premise of this book, and then we'll get back to it. And I probably won't get back to you until I finish reading it, to be honest. This one follows Olivia and Sammy, who were like, they studied abroad in Shanghai. So like the girls like this series is about were friends in Shanghai when they all studied abroad. And Olivia and Sammy were together during their time. And then they both happened to have an internship in New York once they finished their year studying abroad. And they sit together then. and then something happens, and from the Facebook you know that they're broken up. You never find out exactly why they're broken up. It's from the second book where obviously you find out when it's like years later that they did not make it past their time in New York and that they had broken up. But her friend Farah, who the first and second books are about, doesn't know either why they even broke up, despite the fact that Farah was also in New York and friends with both of them. Anyway, so circumstances have come round where they're now both living in San Francisco. Olivia is just there temporarily and Sammy lives there permanently. It's where he's from, and it's forced proximity. They've been forced to live together. I say forced, it's really not like they had no other option. There were other options. It's just these two clearly want to be together again, and they're just like, well, subconsciously their brains are like, well, this means I can still see them like every day, all the time. So yes, I will live with this person. So yeah, at this point we are just getting to where things are starting. I say things are starting to happen. It's not like they're starting to get like into a relationship or starting to have any sort of romantic connection again necessarily, but it's where they're starting to get a bit closer. And they had a moment, and that's where we're at right now. So I'm going to continue reading this now, and I will get back to you once it's finished. I have a feeling this is probably going to be another 4 stars, and that's if this ends how I'm hoping, which, because it's the final book in a series, it's not exactly going to end on a bad note, you know. But we will see. Okay, I've just had a very exciting package that I did not know was actually going to come today. It's from a brand called Tired Girl Apparel. As far as I'm aware, they are UK based, and they do like sweatshirts and hoodies and t-shirts regarding like, you'll see, bear with. So basically I ordered this sweatshirt the day I got my diagnosis of chronic fatigue syndrome, and I'd seen it months and months ago when I was pretty sure I had chronic fatigue syndrome, but I'd yet to have the actual diagnosis. I can't remember if I was on the waiting list for the hospital or if it was even before then. I've kind of known for like a lot longer than the doctors did, really, but I said to myself, once I get my diagnosis, I'm getting the sweatshirt, and here it is. Certified tired girl, because I quite literally am now a certified tired girl. Medically, I will be tired, certifiably. So yeah, you get to pick the colour of your sweatshirt. They have like a few options, and then you have the choice of picking your thread. Oh, hang on. What was I saying? Yes, so they had, that was the postman again, asking if I could take a parcel from another house. Yes, they had a few different options for the colour of the sweatshirt, and then there's like an option. You just said whatever colour thread you wanted, and she would try her best. I think it's a she who runs the company. I imagine because it's Tired Girl Apparel, you know. So I asked for the baby pink, and I said hot pink thread, and she's done an amazing job. It looks so good. Because on the foot on the website, it was like a baby blue with like a darker blue thread, and I thought it looked really nice, so I thought I'd do the pink on pink. And there is a really nice like lavender colour. It's called Orchid, but I'd be tempted to get one of them. But yeah, I can't remember how much it was like £30-ish, something like that. And she said like there was like a 6-week sort of wait, so I was like 6 to 8 week wait, so I was aware of that. But actually, for when it came in the post, like obviously getting it like embroidered and everything took a while. But I got an email like only a few days ago saying it had been like finished and they'd received it. And I'm sure it was only yesterday or the day before that I got an email saying it had been dispatched. So it came actually really quickly once it was done. So I ordered an extra large. It's huge. And it looks very soft on the inside. I won't lie, it's not like a really thick sweatshirt material, but I'm actually quite glad about that because I don't want it to be like too thick. So yeah, I'm actually about to have lunch. But I will try this on once I've eaten. It's giving boxy. It's got a long, like a big sleeve. I'm really happy with this. It's like the perfect baby pink color. I'm so happy with this. I will put a link in the description if I remember to the website, because they have like, obviously they have the Certified Tired Girl, there was like My Tummy Hurts But I'm Being Really Brave About It, My Head Hurts But I'm Being Really Brave About It. So it's kind of like, I guess, for people who have sort of chronic migraines, chronic fatigue, or like any sort of chronic pain or anything like that, and then, or like period related, like my what was it, something that's kind of to do with endometriosis. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go eat my lunch now. So this is the crew neck. It actually like comes down rather far. You can't see, hang on. It's like just below bum, so it's a great length. Anyway, it is about 4:45. It has taken me, and I've literally only just finished this book, it's taken me about 7.5 hours to read the book. But if we take into account that there was an hour break in which I had to call the gas people to come out, it's been 6.5 hours. Which I feel like, I don't know about you, but whenever I would like think about doing a 24-hour challenge, I'm just like, oh well, I'll like have like the first book finished just before lunch, and then I'll have like another book done like by bedtime, and like that's not always how it works, depending on what time I start. Considering I started at like 9:15, then you know. But anyway, so I finished If We Were Perfect. I've decided to give this 4 stars. Yeah, I think book two. I think book 3 and book 4 are the 2 books that I really like of the series. They're both 4 stars. I like how this one went. Again, they were both kind of idiots. Like, Chris and Nate's book, Nate was a bit of an idiot at some points. But nowhere near. Like, the worst idiot was Blake. I'm just going to put that out there. He ended up being alright. How he grovelled in the second book was very good. I will give him that. But he was the biggest idiot. Sammy, I think the reigning theme is that everyone were idiots at some point. But to be honest, Chris was the least idiotic out of all of them. She just had her head screwed on, you know? So Chris is my favourite, I've decided. But I do really like Olivia. I find I relate to her on a level of I need to have control in all things. And my need for organisation and cleanliness probably matches hers. Even though you wouldn't think it looking at my house right now, but it is painful, and I am trying to sort out everything because there is stuff everywhere. I can't use my reading chair because it's full of clothes that I feel need to be steamed, even though they have been washed, because I'm terrified of mould. And they didn't even have visible mould on them. It's the idea that there could be mould spores on the clothes. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Aside from that, Olivia's a much smarter, much more driven and motivated than I am. But I did really like her. And Sammy, honestly, the fact that Sammy was walking around half the time in sweatpants and no shirt, grey sweatpants as well, and no shirt, while baking / cooking, does make him my favourite of the men. Only slightly, because let's be real, I have a thing for fictional men named Nate, and therefore book 3 I really enjoyed, because again, we go like Icebreaker, Nathan Hawkins, Nate, like Nathan, he goes by both, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember. I feel like it's been so long since I've read Icebreaker, I need to read it again. Anyway, besides the point, I love fictional men named Nate. Okay, Nathan or Nate, preferably Nate. And honestly, he was great in that book. But that's not the book that we've read just now. I feel like I was rambling at this point. Yeah. I still prefer the Twisted series. And I still prefer the Twisted Men. But I did quite like... I mean, I liked Blake, don't get me wrong, from book 1 and 2. I liked Blake. I just found some of the tropes I didn't like, so I didn't enjoy the book as much. I think I have decided they're both going to be 3 and 3.5 stars. And then book 3 and 4 are 4 stars. So they're not as good as the Twisted series. I cannot get my words out. So they're not as good as the Twisted series, but I did really enjoy them, and I would really recommend them. Yeah. So now it's time to move on to the next book, which I don't know which one I'm going to do yet. Let's have a look. It's quite handy because my TBR shelf is literally right behind me. I do really want to read Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score, but this book is so long. I think if I read this, I'm only going to manage to like get through 3 books. Let me see how many pages it is. Oh, it's nearly 600 pages. It's 581 pages. It's a really chunky boy. And the thing is, some people did not enjoy this one as much, and they felt like it had been hyped up and it didn't live up to their expectations, so I'm slightly scared to read this. But I also would like to read this so this series is done, you know? Because I do want to go back through and like annotate all of them. I probably won't annotate this one to start off with. I'll probably annotate it like the second time I read it. I don't know why all of these books look so big in comparison to this one. Like even the other books that's on like my immediate TBR, there's only one of them that I think is a decent size. And it's really thin. Because now my brain is used to reading books this size. Even though I love holding books that are really like big. I'm only a size queen when it comes to books. Okay. I don't want to spoil this. I just opened up the random page. Don't spoil it for yourself, Charlotte. Jesus. Oh, I think I am just going to read this one. Okay, it's the next morning. It is... Okay, so next morning. It is 7:58 if you want to focus. Oh. You can kind of see. There we go, sort of. 7:58. 59 now. The next morning, I fell asleep last night on the sofa. I did then get up again and go to bed properly. But that is why there was no like update last night. So you might have seen I was reading on my Kindle. Because when I ate my tea, I was like, I can't physically hold this massive chunk of a book like this very easily and read. So I decided, you know what, I know for a fact it's on Kindle Unlimited. So I thought I'm just going to download it on Kindle Unlimited and read it on there. And I'm currently on chapter 9, so it's 20% of the way through. It says it's on like a page 144 on Kindle, but in the actual book it is page 119. So I'm kind of going to go between reading the physical book and reading on my Kindle, because I do enjoy reading on my Kindle. I also enjoy holding a physical book. I'm just going to see how I feel throughout the day and kind of swap between the two. But yeah, it is now 8 o'clock. So we're going to go until 8 o'clock tonight. Let's just get into it. Okay, I've actually been reading for like an hour, and I forgot to actually tell you early this morning what my thoughts are so far in the book. So I didn't really have many expectations going into it, and I think because of the fact that I've seen a lot of people were disappointed by the book, it's made me have lower expectations. But also I think I didn't really have any expectations for it anyway. I didn't have any, I don't know what the problem was that happened between Lucian and Sloane. I haven't got any sort of inkling as to what went wrong years ago. I think I do now have an idea of what happened, but before, I mean, I'm like 25% of the way in the book now, so before then I didn't have any idea. Yeah, I didn't have any sort of thought about what I wanted it to be. So I think I'm just here for vibes. I'm just enjoying it, to be honest. I find this like, I just love being back in this like small town with this like found family. Like I'm just here and happy. I've seen a lot of people say that they felt like for the like majority of this book that it felt like we're just going through the other couple's stories, but through like Lucian or Sloane's point of view. But I don't personally, from where I'm at in the story so far, I don't really see that. I feel like especially in Lucian's point of view, you're in Lucian's world, and I do feel like that about Sloane's point of view as well. But I feel like Sloane obviously sees Lena and Naomi more than Lucian sees Knox and Nash, you know. But I wouldn't say it feels like it's just continuing on from the other stories of like those couples, if that makes sense, because I've seen people say that, but I don't feel that way personally. But yeah, basically my thoughts are I'm really enjoying it. I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy we're finally at Lucian and Sloane's story. I'm dying to know what happened. Like I said, I have an inkling of what possibly this sticker is not staying where I want it to be. I've got one sticker that just keeps floating around. I don't want it to cover my Death by TBR sticker, and I don't want it to cover my Twisted Sue sticker, and I don't want it to cover my Jungkook Han sticker. I have to say though, I ordered off TikTok Shop a pack of 50 stickers. It cost like, was it even 99p? It might have just been 49p. And it was just pink aesthetic stickers. And when they came, this one was on the top. It didn't say BTS stickers, it just said pink aesthetic stickers, but that's Jungkook's hand. Granted, the stickers are purple instead of the stickers. Granted, the tattoos are purple instead of black. But why am I losing my voice? Yeah, I love how that's just casually my BTS biases hand tattoos was in a random sticker pack. I'm fully losing my voice. What's happening? Okay, it's going. I don't know why. I'm gonna continue reading now anyway. I'm enjoying it, and I'm here for the ride. I'm just along for the ride. At this rate though, I'm only 25% of the way into the book. I feel like it's gonna take me all day to read this, never mind any other book. So let's just get into it. Oh well. I am honestly cackling at this book. It's so good. We're in a moment where like the 6 of them are all together. And well, first of all, Lena was like iconic. And she just like out of nowhere turned to the girls and was like, so what do you use to help relieve period cramps? And Knox and Lucian just left the room. Nash was like, what's wrong, Angel? And she's like, oh, nothing, I just wanted them to leave. And I love that, that's iconic. And then he left because he's like, clearly like, they wanted to speak about, so Sloane's got a dating profile and they wanted to talk about that. And now, currently, after them all deciding her dating profile was awful, Lucian's come back into the room and Naomi is taking the photos, I think. So Sloane is holding a glass of wine against the fireplace while Knox is pretending to be an art director and just laughing at what someone said. Nash is holding a lamp out of shot to like give her better lighting. It's iconic. I love this. It's so fun. It's so funny. Lucian being jealous over this is just, it's the crumbs. We are getting crumbs right now. I'm 33% of the way in. I've just gone to chapter 15. We are only getting crumbs of Lucian and Sloane, and I'm here for it because you know what? I kind of like a slow burn. It depends. It has to be done well. The crumbs have to be sprinkled in at like good intervals, not like waiting too long, and they have to be decent crumbs. If it's like the tiniest little morsel, it's not enough. I need more. This is what I need. I'm loving it. I'm very much enjoying this book right now. And I'm like, it's 10 o'clock and I'm only 33% of the way through the book. Am I even going to be able to finish this today? We're going to try our best. I was cold, so I got into bed, but things are finally happening, so I thought I would film my reaction. This is a really bad angle. Let me just... Oh, shit. I love him. I love him. Anyway. That was good. That was well worth waiting 21 chapters for. I'm literally, now I'm on chapter 22. I'm exactly halfway through the book. I think this is the only book I'm going to be able to finish now for this 24-hour reading challenge. Worth it. Worth it. Okay, I was about to leave the house to go to the shops, and then I remembered, hang on a minute, I need to get my headphones, and then I was like, hang on a minute, I need to remember to pick an audiobook. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm literally, coat is on, bag is on. I need to figure out if we're going to go with A Good Girl's Guide to Murder or One of Us is Lying. I am 76% of the way through Things We Left Behind, so yeah. I'm out of breath. I don't know which one to go for. I think I'm going to go for this one, because I do want to get the other books while they still have, while I can't speak. If I like it, I do want to get the other books that have the coloured sprayed edges while they're still available, because I don't know how long they're going to be available for. And also, this book is slightly smaller, and considering I still have 24% of another book to get through, this one's going to be quicker for me to get through. So let's start with the audiobook for One of Us is Lying. I apparently did not film any sort of context for these clips. Basically, I needed to go to the shop to get stuff for lunch, so I listened to an audiobook, and then I tidied washing and did really boring things that I didn't film while I listened. That's basically all this was. So there's your context. Okay. It's epilogue time. Let's finish this. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, that's gonna make me cry. There's a bonus epilogue. A decade later. Oh my god. I'm so happy there's a bonus epilogue. I was hoping there was. Is there a bonus epilogue in the other two? I can't even remember. I'm all over the place right now. That Saint Matheson. I'm gonna need some backstory on that, please. Thank you. Okay, that makes sense. I hoped. No, it's finished. I need more. I need an epilogue book that is all just their happy ever afters. Just little moments, nothing dramatic happening. Just random little moments through time of them all in different point of views. It can be of all of them together. It can be in their couples, in their families. I don't care. I need more. Okay. I've still got half an hour left. It's only 7:30. I got through, I might as well mention now, I got through to chapter 6 through audiobook because I went to the shop and then I did my dishes and I vacuumed. Just my room needed vacuumed, to be honest. So yeah, I got through 5 chapters. I had the audiobook on 1.7 specifically, times speed. I don't know why 1.7, but 1.5 wasn't quick enough, and you could kind of go, it's not like, you know, like on YouTube, it's like you can go half the speed, well, you go a quarter, half, 3 quarters, and then full, and then you've got 1.5, 1.75, 2. I watch YouTube usually on 2%, but depending on who I'm watching and how fast they naturally speak, or if they have more of an accent, I watch them on 1.5. So like Jacksepticeye, he speaks fast already, sort of, not that fast, but faster than a lot of people, and he's got an Irish accent, so I watch him on 1.5. Whereas and then I watch like Destiny Des Reads on 1.5 because she talks fast. But then I watch, yeah, it depends what I'm watching, what I'm doing. But I kind of have things on normal speed, is basically what I'm trying to say. So yes, I listened to the audiobook on a slightly faster time, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I'm on chapter 6, which is page 66, which isn't bad, really. So I'm going to spend the next half hour reading this to see how much I can get done in the next half hour. It's going to be weird. I don't know how I feel about the audiobook, to be honest with you. I wasn't a huge fan of I think it's the girl's voice, to be honest, that I didn't find worked for me. But yeah, I'm gonna get it on now anyway. So it's a little after 8 o'clock and we're ending this with me on page 97, chapter 9 of One of Us is Lying. I don't know how I feel about this book yet, to be completely honest. It's a YA, which I'm literally turning 26 in less than a week. By the time you are watching this, I have already turned 26. So it's obviously a bit young. I don't know. I think the fact that I started this as an audiobook, even though like I was following it, I feel like I'm not 100% on the characters in terms of knowing who's who and who's connected to what, and like, because I'm about 100 pages in the book, nearly, so I should be kind of nearly there. I've literally just seen there's apparently a part 2, which I'm like not many pages away from, like less than 10 pages away from. That said hide and seek, so that'll be interesting to see what that is. But let's tally up, because realistically I've still got my bookmark from where I was in this, so I can take that out. Realistically, all I read is 2 and a bit books, which for a 24-hour reading challenge isn't very many, but this one is practically 2 books. So let's see how many pages I've actually read. So this one was 316 pages, and this one was 581, and then I've got 97, was it? Yeah, 97 pages out of One of Us is Lying. So I've read 994 pages over 2 days, which really isn't very bad. Like that's really not bad when you put it that way. Especially like, I feel like I read this one months ago compared to like, in my head all I have is this book. This one, at first I did not think it was going to be a 5 stars. But then it just knocked it out of the park, and I'm going to have to give this one a 5 stars. I loved it. I don't know if it's because obviously I didn't have many expectations going into it thanks to BookTube, but I just really enjoyed it and I love being in this little world. I just need more. I'm going to be thinking about this book for the next few days probably. So yeah, and then I think If We Were Perfect is going to be a 4 stars, and then obviously I'm not finished this one yet, but it's like a YA mystery thriller. So, is it a thriller? I don't think it's even a mystery thriller. It says Queen of Teen Crime, Karen M. McManus. Teen crime book. So, I have a feeling this is not going to be my kind of cup of tea, but we will see. It's honestly like it's just over 300 pages, I think. Yeah, not a little over 300 pages. And the writing is like fairly big, and there's quite a big gap on the bottom margin, so I don't think it'll take me too long to read it. So I'm going to leave it there for this, I was going to say episode, this is not a TV show. I'm going to leave it there for this video. Yeah, there's not much more to say. Thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, comment down below whatever you want, and I will see you next time. Bye!